didn't know that day was the end of one dream is the beginning of another. And I rebuilt my life.
1 minute, you're moving through life. Eyes forward, heart open, dreams stretching out ahead of you. And then, in an instant, everything stops. The road you trusted vanishes. The future you were building shatters. And you're left standing there, stunned, breathless, and asking yourself, how did everything change? If you're in that moment right now, staring into the unknown, this isn't your ending. It's the place where your next adventure takes root. Hi, I'm Jessica, and my life's been a journey, and this video is about the time that everything changed. I had worked hard, I had climbed that mountain, and I was standing at the top, enjoying the view. And then a strong wind came and knocked me right back down to the base. I was starting over.
Starting over is overwhelming and usually involves some big life-changing event that has lots of negative feelings involved. For me, it was 10 years ago. I was a married mom of 3 boys. I was married to someone I'd been with since I was 19, and I loved our life together. And then one day he sat me down. It was Independence Day, and my entire world shattered around me that day.
I had been with my husband since I was 19. After 20 years together, finding out he was leaving me and how was already devastating. But on top of that, I was suddenly a single mother to 3 young boys. And it didn't stop there. For the past decade, I had been the business backbone of his music career. I wasn't just supporting him business-wise, I was kind of fully running that show. I handled the marketing and promotions, ran the lights at his performances, designed his first CD covers, took photos, booked events, started and ran his fan club, designed a full line of merchandise, and set it up and sold it at every show. And for 10 years, all of our marital money went into the purchase of equipment, lighting, recording CDs, trips to Nashville. We even purchased a 40-foot Eagle tour bus, taking out a second mortgage on our home. My entire world, family, career, and identity was wrapped up in him. And then, long story medium, just like that, he walked away with all of it. But this isn't a story about loss. It's about rebuilding. It's about finding myself again and giving hope to anyone else who's found themselves in the same position for whatever reason of starting over. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's not actually about the destination. Life's just a long, beautiful road full of crazy adventures, and honestly, as painful as it all was, I wouldn't have traded those years for anything.
I didn't know that day was the end of one dream is the beginning of another. And I rebuilt my life. I'm still rebuilding it, but I want to take you along on this journey. Looking back, as I was at the base of that mountain after having fallen down after all of my hard work, and I was in pain, I wish someone had run out with a handbook on what I should do next and how to start over. Looking back, there was a lot of things that helped me, so I'm going to share those with you. All right, starting over. We have to get our frame of mind right, and this is something that really helped me. Mel Robbins has a book, Reinvent Yourself, and she refers to starting over as being on a road trip. And I think I love this analogy because I really love to travel. We grew up traveling in our motorhome from Washington State all the way down into Mexico. So we would live in our motorhome for 3 weeks to a month, and we would stop at all the most amazing, wonderful destinations. And she is so right. Life is like this type of road trip, because on those trips we would stop, sometimes impulsively, and we would find a really cool new place to experience and make new memories. Some of our stops were planned. They were also equally amazing. And then things happened along this trip, such as belts coming off of the engine and having to find a new one from being like stuck on the side of the road. Had your day planned out, but this wasn't planned. And we got through it. And it all adds to the experience of this road trip. And life is like this. And we're not actually even starting over. We're not at the beginning of the road trip. We're We're not babies being just born. It's your choice, like where you pull off of the freeway and the experiences that you have, and that then you get back on the freeway and you keep driving. And I can't remember exactly, but this is kind of my own spin on it. You are alone in this motorhome. So for the sake of 2025, let's talk about it as if it's a camper van, because those are very popular. Have you seen how cool the inside of those are? Right. This is your creative camper van. You get to design the inside of it exactly how you want. And if you have a friendships or a spouse, those are people that you invite into your van to experience this road trip with you. You're not giving up your own van. You're not giving up all the experiences that you've had to this point. You're not starting over. Someone is joining you. They might join you for a while. They might join you forever. You get to decide. You get to decide what goes on this adventure. And starting over is the opportunity to remember this. It's your camper van. You're deciding this experience. You're deciding this vacation, and you get to decide.
It had been a wonderful adventure, and the exit I pulled off on, where my husband left me, I became a single mom, and got kicked out of his music career, that was rough, but it was up to me to pull back out on that highway and keep going.
And as we pull back out on this road, it's really important that we look, you know how they always say, look forwards because that's where you're going. Don't look in the rearview mirror because that's where you've been. It's never been as important as it is right now. All right, we don't quite know where we're going, but we are going forward. So that's all we need to know. We're going forwards, all right? This is our adventure, and forwards to the good part of the adventure. What complements everything in life? Background music. So we are going to choose our background music carefully. Have you ever had something going in the background that you just like mindlessly let play and you didn't realize it? For me, it's been like, say someone turns the radio on some music that I don't care for, and I'm busy, so I'm not thinking about it, and it's just in the background irritating me. And then finally I realize, why do I feel so irritated? Oh, I need to change the station. So it really matters the background noise that we have right now, okay? And social media can be our friend, but it can also be our foe. So we are going to right now, especially as we're doing a rewrite, social media has to be our friend. So this takes action on your part. So we need to take away anything that has us looking backwards, make it so you can't look at it. Block it, delete it, get rid of it. We are not looking backwards on social media. We also don't necessarily want anything that makes us feel jealous or like we're inferior or like something's wrong or we're behind in life. Something that's giving you massive FOMO that you don't need right now. Like for me, there was that time that I was dating a guy and I really wanted it to work out, but it didn't. And then on Facebook, I got to watch him meet the very next woman, get engaged, have a beautiful, charming wedding. And about the time they were on their honeymoon in Hawaii, I decided this wasn't making me feel right, so I deleted. Any anxiety you're getting from something, we are also going to block that, and we are also going to delete that. For me, it wasn't just social media, it was actual news. I just stopped listening to the news.
And even though I think it's really important to know what's going on in the world so that you can make a difference, sometimes we're not meant to know every horrible thing that's happening in every corner of the earth all at the same time. With what's going on, sometimes our nervous system just can't take that.
And for me, my happy place is Disneyland, so I would put on YouTube videos in the background, people walking through Disney. That was really helpful. When I wasn't doing that, I was listening to audiobooks and self-help books and podcasts and things that left me feeling inspired and positive and having hope about my future, not things that gave me anxiety and had me looking backwards. So clean up that background noise. All right, so we kind of got our mindset straight in thinking that our life is like a road trip and we are in this van that is ours. We get to decorate the inside of the van, get to make it our happy, comfortable place. I know it's going to be hard, especially if you're grieving, but just try to stay on track as you can. If that gives you hope, like it does me, to picture it being like a vacation and an adventure. The thing we need to do is kind of narrow our focus, because you cannot look at the whole picture without getting overwhelmed in the beginning. So we're just going to pick a couple of things. For me, it was starting a new career and raising my kids. That was enough. I couldn't focus on friendships, dating. I just had to focus on the couple of things that were important to me. So you have to narrow your focus. You can't bite it all off one time. My friend used to say, how would you eat an elephant? You would just start one bite at a time, maybe pick the ear and start eating there. That's kind of gross, I know, but it is something that kind of helped me realize just a little bit at a time. You can't really do everything by yourself. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, that means you have too much on your plate. So after you've kind of narrowed your focus and you're focusing on some smaller things, let's see what we can delegate. If you can afford to have someone help you clean your house, do that. If you can order groceries to be delivered, or even just to pick up, have someone else do the shopping, do that. Just little shortcuts and things that can be taken off of your plate. You know what saying I hate? It takes a village, but you know what it takes? It takes a village. You might not have a village. You probably will at some point build your village, but maybe right now is not the time when you have a village of people helping you. I had a lot of help from my parents, but maybe you don't have that. So there's Facebook groups, mom groups, places where you can feel supported, and if you don't actually have those people directly in your life right now. And now might not be the time when you can start, like I said, going out and making new friends. There might not be time for that right now, but you could join a Facebook group. It's a great support. I have a local moms group or two that I'm in, and it's often a place that I go for answers that I need. I'm just reading other people's issues, and you'll know that you're not alone. So think about what you can delegate and start to kind of build your village. It doesn't have to be a traditional village, though. And now let's rewrite our inner narrative, because what happened might feel like a failure, but it wasn't. It was just an exit that we pulled off on. It was a memory we made, and it was part of this adventure. And even if you thought that it was your destination, we're not stuck. We're not at a dead end, because we get to pull right back out up on that open road and continue on our adventure. And this new adventure, this new direction that we're headed, it can be really fun. Can it be scary? Absolutely. It's always scary to not know what comes next. And what's not fun, and what makes it even more scary, is to feel hopeless, to feel like we're stuck, to feel like there's no future, to get stuck on that this was the only outcome that we wanted and the only outcome that would work. It's not. This new one is going to be even better. We have a new chance to create something that we love, and something that's new and different, and that can be beautiful. So something that helped me was creating a vision board. You might want to keep a journal, and then sit down in your journal and write out the story that you want to see. Another fun thing to do is to ask ChatGPT to write the story for you. You just give it some details about your past life and what you might see for your future, and have it write a story. And we want to continue to look at the vision board or the journal entry or read the story from ChatGPT. We want to continue to do that every day if you can, twice a day if you can. This is our new vision, and this is the direction that we're headed. And you can do it. Even though you feel like it might be hard, you can do this, and we are going to do this, and we can do it together. Something that can make starting over difficult is other people's opinions, and the fear of that might slow us down. As we're moving along on this new adventure and this new journey, it's really important that we know that things aren't going to come all at once. And especially if you've grown up around people that have offered you a lot of criticism in the past, it's easy to focus on the things that you are failing at, the things you couldn't get done, the things you don't have time to do, the things that aren't working out, but we're not going to focus on those. Each day is going to have some really special things that you've accomplished. Write those down in a journal at the end of the day. Try and remember the things that you have done. That is what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on the hope of our future, and each day we're going to focus on the positive things from that day. It's time to get curious, not critical. Instead of thinking, why didn't it work out? Why did I fail? Why did I waste so much time? We're just going to think, what do we get to explore next? Fear and overwhelm come from obsessing about the future and the past. And a Penn State study showed 91% of what we worry about doesn't even happen. And the other 9% turns out better than we had expected. Give yourself permission to evolve. It's okay to change paths, values, even identities. And we don't need anyone else's permission, only ours. You don't have to have it all figured out because there's so much in life that we can't control. But the things I talked about today, we can control. Getting the right mindset, protecting that mindset, narrowing your focus to reduce overwhelm, silencing your inner critic, and celebrating your accomplishments, big and small. If this video spoke to you, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your story. And if you want to hear more about how I rebuilt my life and all of my hindsight on divorce, single parenting, dating, new careers, and all of the mistakes I made so that you don't have to make them, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to grow together.
New beginnings don't always have a map, so you have to trust yourself and look inside your heart for the compass. You only have to be brave enough to take that first small step and get back behind the driver's seat. I can't wait to see where this takes you. And if you are ready to take the first few steps but don't want to do it alone, check out my link in the description for my free Fresh Start Mindset Guide. We can do the first 7 days together. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.